how do you maintain that competitive edge against the myriad of competitors that we have outside? What is that one thing that, makes Collabera?
I think Collabera has a very interesting DNA, and I call that DNA entrepreneurial kind of a culture and a DNA, right?
Wow.
And it gives that energy and platform for many people to be successful and leverage their raw passion to do what they want to do. And I have seen Collabera giving opportunity to many different people.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello everyone, welcome once again to CommuniTEA. I'm Aashi Mukherjee and I work in the capacity of Executive Operations Support, and I have been in Collabera close to 8 months now. Today we have a very, very special guest with us, a trailblazer and a wonderful, amazing human being, my mentor, my guide, my guru, and pushes me to reach new heights every single day. The man himself, the Chief Operating Officer, Mitesh Patel. Welcome, Mitesh.
Aashi, thank you for the kind words, but you have been wonderful and I have absolutely enjoyed working with you. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, Mitesh. So let's get going. A question that we all want to know, that how has your journey been in Collabera for 13 years and how have you reached this position of COO, and how would you want to describe it?
Journey started with, I can say, with a curiosity, right? And a curiosity that how do organizations scale? Most of the times I have seen that, in US, the kind of companies that are built, which are like large billion-dollar organizations,
right.
They are built within a very short period of time. And that was the curiosity that I had 13 years back. And I said that if we have to really build an organization which is a very high growth, high pacing kind of a company, then how do we do that? So it started with that curiosity, but through that journey, it has been a journey of resilience, because there are like a lot of challenges across, in this past 13 years when we brought certain changes to the company.
Sure.
It was a journey of hard work and it was a journey of care. Over last 13 years, I have realized one thing, which is that no matter what you do, what you accomplish, but you always care. You care for the people that you work with, you care for the company, you care for the community. In general, if you care, a lot of good things happen. And I think I can say that all these things put together has, brought me to where I am. And with God's blessing, that has worked out positively.
Beautiful. So many takeaways in just one answer, and I think it is huge food for thought for all of us. Okay, moving on. So what challenges do you face on an everyday basis while handling such diverse range of responsibilities? How do you keep up with them? How do you keep yourself motivated and people around you motivated?
I think in terms of challenges, mostly we deal with, people more, right? So the biggest challenges you would see is if you have a thought and a vision, how do the other person is buying into that thought and a vision. I don't see this more as a challenge, but I do see this as a learning opportunity for me to saying that, hey, how can I influence this person? How can I help them with the mindset in terms of saying that, hey, if you think from XYZ perspective, it usually helps me learn and develop more. So I see more that as a learning opportunity. I see more that as an influencing opportunity. And mostly I have seen that you bring in a different perspective and you are resilient, you are persistent. People over time understands that. People over time do see the value in what you have to do. And usually I have seen that works out in the end. So these are learning opportunities. These are influencing opportunities is what I see when I see some of those challenges.
Beautiful. And something I guess a lot of people would be interested in knowing, what do you think sets Collabera apart, and how do you maintain that competitive edge against the myriad of competitors that we have outside, what is that one thing that, makes Collabera?
Yeah. No, I think Collabera has a very interesting DNA, and I call that DNA entrepreneurial kind of a culture and a DNA, right?
Wow.
In my 13 years, I have seen, and even today, if you see how, when Hiten and Sham, how their eyes lit up when they think of a good idea.
Correct.
How passionate they are every morning to come, to wake up from the bed and make a difference, make an impact, right? And that kind of an energy you see 24/7 and 365 days.
Okay.
So when you have an organization that is led by leaders like them,
Correct.
the energy is obviously contagious and it flows through you. And it gives that energy and platform for many people to be successful and leverage their raw passion to do what they want to do. And I have seen Collabera giving opportunity to many different people. Like I joined as an executive 13 years back, with kind of a work that I got, the kind of an opportunities that I got, the initiatives that they trusted me to, run with, has helped the company, has helped me, right, in terms of the learning, growing both ways. But that entrepreneurial kind of a culture and a mindset is what enables people to take up new challenges, to take up new projects. And that is what makes Collabera unique. I did few one-on-ones between last week and this week. One thing that everybody said, that the unique care of people that they see in Collabera, they don't see it, anywhere else.
True.
So that is another angle where people, love to wake up in the morning and come to work. And what else you want?
Absolutely. That's what we want to, just come up and start our day with some thought in our mind, something to do every day. Wonderful. So, Mitesh, moving on to the next question. What do goals and target mean for you? I mean, we are in a world where it's cutthroat competition. It's all about numbers. It's all about reaching the heights, doing something new every day. How do you think you would want to, define goals and targets for you?
Honestly, if you ask me, I do take the targets and goals as a reference, but I don't work towards those, goals and targets. I usually have my benchmarks, right? And those benchmarks, usually I set like a very high and a very aspirational kind of a benchmarks. So that is what I strive for, to set a very high benchmark and then try to achieve that. Goals are more like an interim kind of dashboard or like a gauge that gives you how and where you are. But that is how I, look targets and benchmarks.
Wonderful. So you don't limit yourself with goals and target, but you have such huge benchmarks that every day you have something new to achieve.
Yes.
You don't limit yourself with numbers per
Correct.
se. Wonderful, wonderful thought. A curious question, that had you not been in Collabera, had you not been a COO that you are today, what do you think would have been your alternate career?
By heart, I'm a businessman. So for sure, I feel that I would, if not this, I would have been, managing, running or owning, a different kind of a business, but that's what I would have been doing, if not this.
So true to the DNA of Collabera that
Yes.
you just spoke about, entrepreneurial, the DNA. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, moving on to the next question, Mitesh, something that I personally also would like to know. It's been 13 years, long time. I'm sure you have handled a variety of projects, but we would love to learn about that one toughest project that you have worked upon and how did you go through with it?
Toughest project that I can think was, and it is indeed a very sensitive topic, was when we learned something about the growth-based plan.
Right.
And then, when I and Sham were talking and he said, why don't you take this as a mandate to, make it happen? And I said, okay.
Okay.
So I think we started with this plan in 2015 or 2017, but before that, bringing growth to the company
Right.
was a problem of few people, right? Or was the goal of few people, which is like Sham, Hiten, and Hemin and Dhar, who were like original founders. And then there was a new client acquisition team. The growth was mostly dependent on them largely.
Right.
So what we thought of that, how can we make bringing growth to the company everybody's problem?
Right.
And that was the very raw thought that motivated us to say that, hey, how can we move everybody from a target based plan to a growth based plan? And that was a mandate that I took to change how people are getting paid in terms of target based plan versus growth based plan. And when it's matter of money, a lot of people get sensitive.
Yes.
And this was across US and India both, so a lot of senior people also involved, but eventually it did work out. A lot of people supported in this entire journey and that whole project that we did it. Initial there was like a lot of resistance towards the plan, but fast forward 3 years we said, hey, do you want an option to change this? And a lot of people said no, you know what, we want to keep it. So to me that was a confirmation, saying that, hey, you know what, it was indeed good for them, it was indeed good for the company. Idea was not to make sure like people don't make money, but idea was to help them. The growth based plan is in fact better for people, it is in fact better for company.
Absolutely.
So it was indeed a win-win situation, which they confirmed and they said, you know what, we don't want to change this plan.
Wow. I'm sure you must have faced a lot of persistence over there as well. And but beautiful. I mean, I cannot imagine going through such a project which is so sensitive for people, but like you've said, you've made it happen and you're here, so everybody should be able to believe that, oh my goodness, so many projects, and hands down toughest one. Yes. We don't debate on that. So when we're talking about toughest things, something from your personal life, Mitesh, what is the most, how shall I put it, tough question that your kids have asked you till date?
The toughest question my kids asked me so far is, Dad, why do you work so hard? And it gets very difficult, to answer, because what I teach them is that, hey, you read, you learn, you study, so that you don't have to end up working very hard in life.
Right.
For very little amount of money. And but then they're saying, you tell us to learn, you tell us to read, but then why do you end up working so hard? So it's a very good question, very tough question. I think my response to them is always that you don't get exceptional kind of an output if you do what everybody else do. I work hard because something that I aspire, the goals that I keep are high, and to achieve that I need to put extra effort and an extra work there, and I love what I do. Right. So that is another aspect. I don't feel like I am working because I like what I do. I love what I do. So yeah, that's how I like to spend my time.
Right.
So again, it's not work for me because I love it.
I'd vouch for that. This guy loves his work and he's crazy about it. He breathes his work, but then that's what makes you exceptional, I believe. One advice that you would want to give everyone who is hustling, struggling, trying to make through every single day with a lot of difficulty, but one thing that you would want to tell them?
If I have to give one advice to anybody,
yes,
right, and it's just one, there is no option to give a second advice.
Yep.
The one advice I would give is be happy. Because
so true.
A lot of times in life we worry about things. You would have gotten upset about something this morning.
Yeah.
And if you think in hindsight, and say that, hey, I spent 30 minutes of my life being upset about something. And if you think of it, after a week or end of the day, you say, why was I upset about this? Why did I wasted 30 minutes of my life being upset about something which did not matter?
Correct.
So always remind yourself with that, keep that on top of your mind. I feel you will be more forgiving to people, you will be more forgiving to yourself, and you will be more happy.
Absolutely.
So that is the one advice that I would give to anybody in life.
True.
Be happy.
Happiness is a very, very important question, and pursuit of happiness is rather definitely.
Yes.
You emphasized it once again, and you reminded us that this is one of the most important aspects that we should think beyond numbers, beyond struggles, beyond hustle and bustle. Wonderful.
We live to be
Beautiful.
happy, right?
Beautiful, and completely agree. So this brings on to one of my last general question. What is that one advice that you would give to younger Mitesh?
Communication.
Okay.
Communication is such an important aspect of what you do.
True.
And communication would be, from multiple perspective, which is how you talk, what you talk, how you dress, what you read, who you talk to, because all those things, develop as part of your communication,
True.
which subconsciously, most of the time you don't realize that.
Yes.
But that do become part of your communication. You
Absolutely.
dress well, you communicate good. You feel more confident, and that comes out in your communication.
True.
You talk, you read good things. You talk to people who have that great mindset.
True.
Those things will come out in communication when you talk to other people. And I did read a lot, but I did pay less attention on how I communicate, the art of storytelling. How can I influence a point and a thought in a very different way?
Right.
So that is one advice that I would give to younger myself, if I can rewind things back 13 years.
That's so beautiful, and I'm sure it's not just with younger Mitesh. This is a beautiful takeaway for all of us, for all our young selves. And I think you emphasized a very, very amazing point here, Mitesh, that there is no time to learn. We can always evolve, and we can always learn the new things that are coming up. Wonderful, Mitesh. So that brings us to our most interesting part of the interview, that is the rapid fire. So you're not allowed to think here. Please keep your thinking hats aside.
Let me get ready. Right.
See, okay, let's begin. What is that one thing you miss about India?
Sev Usal.
Oh my goodness. How many times
I
you have
ate
forgotten?
Sev Usal as soon as I land in India.
Oh my
Saturday
goodness.
morning, 3 a.m. I landed, 12 I had Sev Usal.
Okay, so he does not contact his EA folks. The first thing he does is he goes to Sev Usal and has that. How many times have you forgotten your wedding anniversary?
Maybe twice.
That's an impressive number, I mean. Okay, if you could switch roles for a day, which department within Collabera would you like to switch?
Account manager. I would like to take that role because relatively for me that's the most difficult role, and I feel that challenge. I would love to take that challenge.
Super. What's your favorite book or movie that has inspired you professionally or personally?
3 Idiots.
Wonderful, a lot of us. Okay, share a funny habit that your colleagues might find amusing.
I walk very fast. A lot of times people say that, why are you running? And I was like, nope, I'm just walking. They feel that I'm in hurry all the time, but yeah, I'm just walking. Just so you know that.
Yes, so I would vouch for that. What's the most interesting place you've traveled for work-related reasons?
Poland.
If you could bring one fictional character to life to work with you, and whom would it be and why?
I don't know how many, like you have seen Suits, but Harvey Specter from Suits is, one amazing personality who believes in getting things done, and that's something that resonates and relates with me a lot in getting things done. So yeah, I would love to bring that character alive.
Wonderful, interesting choice. So what's your go-to stress relief activity after a long day at work?
Spending time with my kids. No matter how stressed I am, there are like 50 other things to do, but I come home, I spend 5 minutes, and this is no exaggeration.
Yeah.
Literally, you spend 5 minutes with kids, and with their love and care, you just feel so good. Your stress, pressure, everything is relieved. So, and I live that many days with my role, and it's just amazing.
Wonderful. What is your spiritual relief activity that helps you navigate through everyday life, through tough times, and how would you describe that?
One thinking, I don't know, with God's blessing, and maybe it's my mom, through my mom I learned this, that she always would, pray to God saying that, hey, bless with good thinking and protect. And somehow what stuck to me, I don't know, but even when I was like a kid, right, I would only pray to God saying that bless me with a good thinking and protect me. So those are the two things I would, pray and always keep in my mind. I would never ask materialistic things, growing up from God and or from the Mother Nature. And somehow I feel that Mother Nature and God has blessed with that. When time comes, when needed, I feel that I am blessed with wise thinking or the advice that I see and get from people. So that has always kept me going. That has always kept me doing right things, to overcome challenges and tough times in life.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you did amazing in the rapid fire. Absolutely, your thinking hats were aside. But I believe this interview will always remain incomplete, Mitesh, without talking about that one rock solid support in your life and that one woman, that one lady who, with whom you built an amazing life with 2 kids, and how you navigated through all the times, and would love to know about that.
My wife is that person who I can say, obviously growing up, my mom is the lady who really built me as a person and a personality and everything that I am today.
Right.
But navigating the whole professional career and personal career once you grow up, my wife has been a huge support in what I do. She challenges me like anything. And again, without her support, I don't think so that I would have done what I am able to do it today.
Right.
To me, she is a rock solid support for me, is what I can say, and the kind of things that she manages, for me and helps me is I just cannot imagine. I just cannot imagine, my life without her. Let's put it that way.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I believe, Mitesh, you have absolutely challenged and changed the narrative that behind every successful man there's a woman. Nope. With every successful man there's a woman.
Agreed,
So
100%.
I believe that you and ma'am, you have lived up to that, and I truly believe that you keep on living that even when your kids are out of the house and you become absolutely inseparable. But I wish you a wonderful togetherness. And it was amazing having you, Mitesh, outside the cabin and beyond those projects. Knowing you as beyond my boss has been amazing. I'm sure our viewers also loved knowing the man who had humble beginnings and who reached here, and he gave us milestones. So absolutely, Mitesh, loved having you here, and thank you so much.
No, thank you, Aashi. Thank you.